First news in high definition. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
Governor Perry, we're going to begin with you. You're the newcomer here on stage. You probably saw this coming a mile away.
Governor Rick Perry steps into his first national debate for the GOP presidential nomination. Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Republican frontrunner and Texas Governor Rick Perry faced off against 7 other candidates for the first time tonight in front of a national audience.
They are all vying for their party's nomination for the race to the White House, and tonight all eyes were on Perry. Steve Handelsman reports from Washington, D.C. with the very latest.
It was the first face-off between the Republican frontrunners, Texas Governor Rick Perry and former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, and it got hot fast over their record on employment and their predecessors.
Michael Dukakis created jobs 3 times faster than you did, Mitt.
Well, as a matter of fact, George Bush and his predecessor created jobs at a faster rate than you did, Governor.
That's not correct.
Yeah, it is correct.
The main target was Barack Obama. Michelle Bachmann's polling 4th in this field.
And as President of the United States, I won't rest until I repeal Obamacare.
Ron Paul's polling 3rd, a libertarian.
We don't need the government running our lives.
But jobs was the focus.
Who on this stage can get America working? Because we know for a fact the resident of the White House cannot.
Perry is to the right of Romney, and he's fiery.
Maybe it's time to have some provocative language in this country.
Perry questions Social Security.
You cannot keep the status quo in place and not call it anything other than a Ponzi scheme.
Our nominee has to be someone who isn't committed to abolishing Social Security, but who's committed to saving Social Security.
A feisty struggle for a shot at the president.
Whoever the nominee is, we are all for defeating Barack Obama.
2 more Republican debates follow in the next 2 weeks. But tomorrow night is a major event in this race. From here on Capitol Hill, President Obama presents his plan to put Americans back to work and save his own job. From Capitol Hill, I'm Steve Handelsman, KCBD News Channel 11. Karen, Abner, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. Officials now say it appears 800 homes are destroyed or still burning in the Central Texas wildfires that continue to burn tonight. In the Austin area, many people are wondering if they still will have anything left when they return to their neighborhoods. As the winds die down, firefighters have been able to go into some of the burned areas to take note of what is standing and what has been destroyed. Fire officials posted a list outside the convention center in Austin where many of the evacuees are staying. That list includes about 200 addresses where they know the homes are gone, and that list is still growing. Some people say their worst fears have become reality, but at least they know what they are facing.
My house looks like it melted, my trailer house, and my daughter's house looks like it exploded. It is all over everything, so it's been tough, but luckily there's lots of wonderful people who are helping.
It's not over yet. Officials say the wildfire in the Austin area is just about 30% contained.
There are other wildfires in Texas, and the only truly way that they can be stopped is with a dose of rain.
That's what we need. And John, it's your department. Do you see anything out there? I had a couple of sprinkles today, but just not enough to do anything.
Yeah, we have a slight chance, believe it or not, of rain. Maybe tomorrow, the next day, some sprinkles or showers. But as we look at the Doppler radar, we'll show you what it looks like tonight across our region. Unfortunately for the hill country, no rain in the forecast through the weekend. In fact, they will see some record lows tonight to cool things down, but then they're going to climb back into the 90s, anywhere from south of Dallas, Killeen, San Marcos, San Antonio, Austin, that region. Here in Lubbock, we've had a few sprinkles, and we may even have a few more kind of pass by the region tomorrow. A few of those sprinkles still occurring barely up in the areas around Clovis and Portales. Nothing really measurable there and over towards Bailey County, but that's going to diminish a little bit. Hopefully we'll return during the afternoon tomorrow or maybe on Friday as well. Presently, let's take a look at our digital tower cam time lapse. Got a beautiful one to show you quickly here. And you can see how the clouds are moving in out of New Mexico into the South Plains. Those clouds will be with us off and on the next 24 hours or so and hopefully bring at least a few sprinkles. Karen and Abner.
Thank you, John. Did I really say the only truly way? New at 10 tonight, we're following up on a story we broke yesterday after the LPNL board recommended an 8% rate increase for average consumers.
Well, now we've learned that LP&L is already making more profit than predicted. KCBD News Channel 11's Michael Slaughter has been on the phone with board members and the mayor, and he joins us now with the latest. Michael?
Well, Colonel Adler, as we said yesterday, LP&L buys their power from Xcel, and Xcel's rates went up in February. So even though LP&L paid more to buy their electricity, they haven't passed that increase on to their customers. LP&L's numbers show they're still already making more than $2 million more than they expected to make this year, and there's still 2 months left of bills to process. But yesterday, the utility board recommended raising rates on your bill. So today we went out to ask the tough questions. Why? With 2 months to go in the fiscal year, LP&L Board Chairman W.R. Collier says because of the hot summer, they're already in the black by more than $2 million.
So if we are doing so well, then why is it important to make this increase at this time of the economy?
You'll have to ask some of the other people that voted the other way.
So that's exactly what we did. We asked board member George Carpenter why he voted to recommend an increase.
We need to go ahead and raise the rate so that we can have the proper reserve that the city council asked us to hold.
We checked. City ordinance requires LP&L to keep $50 million in reserves or 4 months of operating costs, about $64 million. But Mayor Martin says the reserve balance is doing just fine, and he opposes the rate increase.
We have sufficient reserves. We don't need to pile up a lot of cash to become a tempting target to politicians that are looking for a source of money to give away to some of their constituents.
Tuesday, board members also said a rate increase would help fund future projects with cash rather than borrowing money.
If we had a project where we needed the extra cash to pay for it that would warrant a rate increase, then that's okay. But we don't have that at this time, and there's no need to raise rates.
We still feel it's appropriate to ask customers who have already spent more money than ever on their summer bill to pay 8% more starting October.
Well, the thing about it is that this coming year, and with winter coming on, we will lose during that time. Next year, if we have a normal year, we'll make about $6 million again.
Now, the City Council has to vote on the board's recommendation. We're told they don't expect to do that at their meeting tomorrow. Tell us what you think about the board's recommendation on our Facebook page. Karen Abner.
Thank you, Michael. And there may be another cost increase coming soon. As today, several Lubbock citizens met to voice their concerns about a possible city bus fare increase. One Lubbockite got so excited that she literally pulled her pants down.
I have lost 64 pounds in the last year and have to wear shorts under my britches just to keep them on.
Tommy Morell says she struggles each day to pay for food. Right now, she says she eats only one meal a day, and increasing the fare will make it even harder. City Bus is proposing a cost increase of 25 cents per ride. Councilman Todd Klein says a fare hike is not necessary. He has suggested taking $175,000 from economic development and transferring it to City Bus.
And there was another meeting today. This time it was Lubbock's Board of Health, and that group met to discuss the fate of the city's health department. City Manager Leanne Dumbald has said that she wants to cut the health department to save the city some money. But earlier today, the Board of Health created a subcommittee to explore any other possibilities for the department. That subcommittee has until November to come up with some options.
The identity of a man who Lubbock police say claimed the devil was inside him and then assaulted a police officer was made public today. 20-year-old Kabir Isola is charged with attempted capital murder after choking and nearly throwing police officer Brian Schwertner off a 4th-floor balcony. The event unfolded at the Suites at Overton just around 1:30 yesterday afternoon. Both Schwertner and Isola were taken to the hospital, and both were released later that afternoon. Isola remains in the Lubbock County Jail tonight.
And we are learning more tonight about a woman who was rescued from a house fire by firefighters yesterday. Investigators now say the fire at this home in the 3000 block of 49th Street was apparently intentionally set, and that only the woman was home at the time. Neighbors tell KCBD News Channel 11 that the woman had just gotten out of the hospital that morning. Authorities have not released her name.
On this day, 75 years ago, a legend was born, and the face of rock and roll would be changed forever. And to mark this momentous occasion, Buddy Holly received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Family, friends, and fans in Hollywood and at home in Lubbock watched as Holly posthumously received the 2,447th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Holly's brothers were among those at the Buddy Holly Center watching the live stream of the event. Holly's widow, Maria Elena, accepted the star on his behalf.
I know Buddy is looking down and saying, thanks to all of you for bestowing this honor.
One thing he wanted more than anything was recognition. He wanted that more than money or anything else I know of, and he got it.
September 7th is now officially Buddy Holly Day in Los Angeles, and the Buddy Holly star now sits on Vine Street in front of the Capitol Records building next to the Beatles. For all the pictures of today's event, go to kcbd.com and check out the slideshow.